good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome back to the podcast that explores the world within and out. And thank you for subscribing to Traveling Inside Out, wherever you get your podcast from. And if you could rate it on Apple Podcast or wherever, I would really appreciate it. Thank you. Okay, so I know that it's going to be hard for you to believe, but this episode is gonna be a stream of conscience with nothing written down. And you're gonna say, wait, what, Alina? You're telling me that previous episodes you had things written down? Yeah, most of the time. But I decided that I've been having a lot of bad days lately, so much so that I decided my last episode of season 4 is just gonna be me talking about how my life has been going lately. Now, you need to know one thing. If you don't like people complaining about shit, you should not listen to this episode. If you do like Bill Burr by any chance or means, I think I'm gonna be kind of close to the way that he's talking about shit most of the time. And most importantly, if you want to be part of this podcast, you have a chance to do that. Just make sure you follow the link in the episode description, and then you can just be part of this podcast, either by a writing form or audio or whatever kind of way you want to get in touch with me. That's a possibility because season 5 is going to be different. Okay, and now on with the podcast. So you know that things go bad when you start yelling in the middle of the street of how annoyed you are, being like, ugh. Uh, but before we get to that, we're gonna get to that. Yeah, we're gonna talk about it. I have to say that as days are passing, I'm realizing more and more that I might be in need of anger management, even though everything that I've seen about anger management in movies looks horrifying and very annoying, and you want to punch people in their faces, which I'm not going to do. I really truly condone violence. It's just a joke, but it's just the feeling of wanting to punch people, not the actual doing, but just the feeling and the anger being built up and all that issue. So, that being said, number one, last time in the previous episode, I was talking about selling my car. So I told you the whole story of how, so sad, my car has passed away. Well, do you know what happened? I waited for 2 weeks. So it was over 2 weeks that I left it in the shop of Toyota, like official representative of Toyota in Iceland. And after 2 weeks, I was like, let me call them because I don't understand why does it take 2 weeks to tell me what's wrong with the car. Like, I need you to tell me what's wrong with the car. So in order for you to do that, I don't think it's gonna take 2 weeks, right? Right. So what do? I call the place. And they are telling me, yeah, the car is not ready. So the car is not ready. And I'm saying, maybe there was a misunderstanding because I never wanted for you to fix it. I just wanted to know what's wrong with it. And then they were like, no. First and foremost, they were like, yeah, the car is not ready. No. They said the car is not ready. And I was like, it's been there for 2 weeks. Oh, 2 weeks? Okay, give me a moment. So he puts me on hold. Then he comes back and he's like, yeah, the car is not ready. And I'm like, but what's wrong with that? We still don't know for sure. And I'm like, so you're telling me you kept it there for 2 weeks and you don't know what's wrong with it? No, we actually do know, but like it's not, we can't quite fix it. We can't promise you that we're going to fix it. And I'm like, hey, wait a minute. I never said to you that I want you to fix it. I only told you that I want for someone to look at it and tell me what's wrong with it. So then I'm saying, so can I come and pick it up? And you're like, yeah, but it's not. I'm like, I don't want it to be fixed. And you're like, yeah, okay. So then I'm asking, do you have a pickup service? And they were like, yeah, we actually do. call this number. Okay, cool. Call this number. I was too annoyed that day, so I was like, I'm gonna call the next day. So the next day, it's like 8 or 9 a.m. I don't know. I called in the morning because I was like, maybe I need to schedule. So I'm calling, and then the guy is telling me I can be there in 30 minutes. And I'm like, bitch, what? Okay, sure. Why not? Sure. So the guy comes. He's picking me up. He's taking me to the Toyota service. He's like, okay, have a good day. And I'm like, okay, thank you. And I go there, and the guy is looking through the papers, and he's like, didn't you know that the car is not ready? And in my mind, I was like, didn't you know that you are wrong? Like, don't give me this bullshit. Just don't give me this bullshit. So he's telling me, and I'm telling him, no, that's not what I said to him. I said, I want to pick up the car because I never said that I want for the car to be fixed. And then he was like, okay. So he goes away somewhere in the workshop, and then he comes back and he's telling me that, okay. So, and I'm like, so did you end up finding out what actually is wrong with the car? And then he's like, yeah. And then he stopped because he didn't know how to translate it in English. It's not his fault. So this is one thing that I can promise you is not his fault, because he was very young to begin with. And honestly, to be completely honest, like, even if he would have told me in English, I'm not sure I would understand. So I was like, he's like, so the sensor, and I'm like, someone was telling me about an oxygen sensor. I don't know. Yeah, I think that's it. So then he's like, and the engine, it's something wrong with the engine and something. And I'm like, whatever. So then I'm like, okay, can I have it? Do I have to pay something? And they're like, yeah, you have to pay like $70 because we check to see what's wrong with your car. And I'm like, more fucking money that this car is asking of me. More fucking money. Ugh, motherfucking. Okay. So I'm asking the guy, I was like, but I did so much work and la 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 la. And then he's giving me, anyway, I was trying to talk with him and be like, what can I do with this car? Can I sell it for pieces? The guy didn't quite know what to answer. So he gave me an address of a website. And he was like, you can contact them because they usually sell pieces, so they probably buy pieces as well. And I'm like, okay, cool, that's cool. So I take the car home, and then 2 days later, I'm like, I have to put it online for selling. And I looked, someone had the same car like mine, but I think it was from 2003. Mine was from 2002. And they asked for 50,000 kronas on it, which is 50,000 kronas means like, I don't know, 350, between 350 and 400, less than that, I think, dollars. And I'm like, I can't, like, I paid almost double for the tires that I bought last year, and I barely used the car, so they are barely new. Like, the tires are fucking new. So I'm like, okay, let me put the car on sale. So I put a car for selling, and like for the next half an hour, a lot of people were very interested in the car. So I didn't put it with a price because I was like, I don't even know how much to ask for it. And I'm like, should I ask for like 150,000? I don't know. Like, I really don't know. So I was talking with some people, and then one person was like, I can come in 30 minutes. Are you home now? I want to come and look at it now. And I'm like, oh, okay, this is happening fast. And I'm like, and then another person was like, can I come and sit? And I'm like, well, somebody said that they are coming, so let me see. I'm going to pay 180 on it. And I'm like, what is going on? I told you. I literally said to the person, did you read the app? I'm sorry that I'm yelling. I said to the person, did you read the ad that I wrote? Because why would people pay so much for this car that is broken and apparently it's never to be used again? Anyway, the person comes. Long story short, I'm selling it for 120,000. and that's it. I sell it to the first person who looks at it. I'm telling you, I'm like, you know what? I'm over it. Just fuck it. And then they are telling me that this thing, like all the work that I've done on it is that I've done on it in April. They were like, they extra charge you for that. They shouldn't have. And they didn't even do the whole work. So some of the issues, maybe you're just missing the oil and they didn't replace the oil. And it's maybe that was the problem and whatever. So the point is that it seemed that whatever it's wrong with it, whatever. 3 or 4 days passed. So again, I sold it with 120,000 Icelandic kronas, which is like $900. And I paid, I think, on the tires, I paid like 700, I think. So I made like $200 more. So basically, I've just got money from the tires and a bit extra, and that's it. So I've lost a lot of money. And so a few days pass, and then I see my car put for selling for 630,000 Icelandic kronas, which was around $4,500 from 900 that I paid. I still don't understand why and how is that even possible. But in the advertising, they wrote all of the motherfucking things that I've done to the car. What the fuck? And I was like, well, I kind of said to the guy that I'm not good with renting. I'm not good with cars. And I kind of told him the whole story, how the mechanics kind of fucked me over and shit. So maybe they fucked me over as well. So because they were saying like, yeah, there's even more wrong. But there's also a problem with the tire and all that shit. And I'm like, in a way, I'm happy that I'm done with it. But in another way, I'm like, do people have no fucking shame in this world? Is everybody just out there to get me? Like, I can't even. Like, I can't fucking even. Like, the even of the even, I just cannot. Anyway, so that's done. So I sold the car on Saturday and I couldn't find the second key. And then on Sunday, they were supposed to come and take the second key. They didn't come. And then one fucking day after they put the ad on, the guy is texting me, can I come and take the second key? I didn't answer. To the day I didn't answer. And I'm like, I can't deal with this. I just cannot deal with this. To hell with everything. I was so mad. I'm like, I'm going to go and find the fucking car and set it on fire. I was so angry. I didn't do any of that. I would never do something like this. It's just the idea of doing this kind of calms me down. Maybe it's stupid. I would never do anything like this. It's just the idea of just thinking about something which I'm not going to do and I would never do, but just thinking about it kind of be like, just imagining seeing the car on fire. Of course, not hurting anyone or anything like that. Just seeing the car on fire and just be like, if I cannot have it, you cannot have it. Like, it's a very famous poem in Romanian about a peasant who had to sell his horse. This is so stupid because I'm trying to explain something that it's my favorite Romanian poem ever. And I feel so stupid explaining the poem. So the thing is that the story happens back when Ottoman Empire was conquering what was like Romania back in the past. It wasn't Romania quite yet. So the story is about a peasant who cannot feed his children and family anymore. So he's deciding to sell the horse to the Turkish person, thinking that it's gonna make a lot of money. and that's the way. And then when he goes back, like as he goes away, he's remembering all of the things, like all of the great memories that he made with the horse and his family. So then he's deciding, like, oh no, wait, no, fuck, I cannot sell my horse. So he goes back, and then um and so the Turkish, I don't know how you say Pasha in English. I'm sorry, but I don't know how you say that. So the Soliman or whatever it is, they're like, no, no, I already gave you the money. You can have the horse back. So then he kills the horse, and then he's like, the poem ends in saying that, now you can kill me as well. I don't care anymore. So I don't. It's very telling of my character, and I love that as a kid. Just so you understand this. This is very telling of who I am as a person. But I love that fucking poem so much. It's so. It talks about so many things at once, whatever. The point is that for me, for a second, I'm like, oh my God, I'm this person. I want to go and kill the car. If I cannot have it, then nobody can have it, which I didn't do. So the car is somewhere out there, probably sold for 4,000 fucking dollars, whatever the fuck. I'm not gonna give the second key, and I hope that they're not gonna come and do something bad to me. Anyway, so this ends wherever. Yeah, the point is that the guy stakes. Yeah, like as I said, I haven't answered to the message, and I'm not planning to. I'm not gonna reply. Okay. At the same time, I've realized that I've gathered quite a lot of shit, which when I moved in this house, I had nothing. And I was like, I'm going to keep it minimalistic and all of this and that and this and that. And guess what happened? I kept buying shit. I kept buying shit that I realized that I don't actually need right now. And because I'm in a bit of a problem with the money, I'm trying to, you know what I'm trying to do? I'm trying to fucking sell some shit that I don't necessarily need so then I can make some money back because I've lost a lot of money because of the car. So now I'm trying to sell on Facebook, and there's a website here in Iceland that you can get to sell shit. And I've been trying to sell, and I managed to sell two things out of, like, I think I have like 20. I have managed to sell two things. And the rest of them are people either like me asking, I'm not going to tell you what, but I'm just so you understand. So imagine I'm asking on something 75,000 kronas, and somebody's like, literally somebody wrote to me, I offer you 20,000 and I can come and take it today. And I'm like, the hell you will. Like, when I'm asking 75,000 and you're offering me 20,000, I would rather donate that shit and let people who cannot afford anything right now and are in Iceland to have it from the Red Cross than to give it to someone with the audacity, the fucking audacity. I'm asking 75,000 and you're offering me 20,000. I'm sorry, but you're not my person. You're not my person. It's just that's how it is. So anyway, I'm trying to sell shit, and people keep like writing to me and be like, is this still available? And I'm writing back, yes. And then they ghost me. I'm like, so what was it? So, or how many of this do you have? And I'm like, I'm telling the number. And then they ghost me. And so I've also discovered that there's a Facebook group in which people are swapping shit. And I'm like, well, I could swap some shit for food, basically. Like, I can swap some shit for food. Why the hell not? Let's do this. So I'm trying to swap shit, but it doesn't work because, once again, people don't quite answer. Like, I even had someone that I wanted to give some crochet hooks for free. And it was supposed to come one day. And then she's like, okay, I'm going to come tomorrow. I'm going to let you know. And I'm like, okay, cool. And then never. And I'm like, you don't even want free shit. Like, what can I do right now? So things are not going great. Except I realized, another thing. Just let me tell you how life works. So I think ever since February, wait, did I already talk about this in a previous episode? I feel like I've talked about this, but maybe not in the podcast. So ever since February, I keep seeing messages. So, where I live right now, we have one laundry room that I'm sharing with other four apartments. So we have a laundry machine and a drying machine, and I'm sharing it with the people on my floor, basically. And so that's okay. That's amazing. No problem. Starting February, the landlord started writing some ish, which I didn't understand. So because I didn't understand it, because it was written in Icelandic, so I had to Google what it means and so on. So my understanding was that he was asking not to use fragrance without the detergent, which I didn't. So I'm buying washing detergent that is the least, that's what the box says, is the least damaging to the environment. It has no fragrance, has no, I don't know what kind of additives, doesn't have that, and doesn't have a lot of shit. Also, I stopped buying clothes softener just because of budgeting reasons. So I was just using that detergent, and I'm like, okay, so this doesn't affect me because I'm buying just one kind of detergent. So that's fine. Now, the thing is that it doesn't matter how and why. The point is that I, at some point, ended up buying two detergents, like way too much. Like I bought it once and then I was like, I think I remember I don't have one. So then I bought the second one, and when I got home, I still had a bit of the one that I was using, and I had two unopened ones. So fast forward to me coming back from Romania and New York, and I go to do my laundry, and guess what happens? The landlord is actually providing the detergent for free because I guess he had it enough and be like, you people stop using whatever the fuck detergent you're using and just use this kind of detergent, which is literally the one that I have. So now I'm like, you know what? If I have detergent for free and I still have one unopened box, I'm going to try and exchange that open box for something. And I was thinking to exchange it for chocolate because I'm going to give you even more details about my life. I'm going to send a package back home to Romania with some stuff at some point next month. And I was like, wouldn't it be nice to send some chocolate to my family as well? Yes, that would be nice of me. So I'm like, if I can exchange the freaking powder detergent with some chocolate, that's still a win because that means that I don't have to buy the chocolate. So it's still a bit of a kind of a thing. Okay, cool, awesome, amazing. So I have a conversation with a person last week, and finally she comes today. Also, I'm recording this on a Monday and I'm going to publish this on a Monday. So, whatever. Don't fucking judge me. You don't know my life. You don't know how the landlord has been working on this house for a week and it's been working on the roof, and the roof is just above me. The ceiling is the roof. So I couldn't fucking record shit the whole week because he keeps working on the fucking house. So now it's very late because I was waiting for him to go away and finish with the knocking and the bonking and the whatever the fuck. Anyway, coming back. So this woman or person, I don't, let's not assume. So this person is asking me, what kind of chocolate do I like? And I'm like, I don't know. I just want Icelandic chocolate. So she's coming today and she's telling me nothing. She just come with a paper bag. And I'm like, I thought that she's gonna bring me one chocolate for my powder for my powder detergent. She brought me 10 chocolates from Omnom, which is a very known chocolate factory in Iceland. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure this person works for the factory. And maybe she gets to take some of the chocolate. I don't know if it's anything wrong with that chocolate. I hope it's not because I'm going to give it to my parents, to my family. Anyway, so that was nice. I got 10 bars of chocolate. You know what? I don't know how many. If you want to know how many, you should totally do the following. Number one, read my blog post that I'm going to post at some point in this live, and read the episode description. But I think there are 10. Anyway, so that happened. And now let's come at the end. Let me tell you why I was yelling in the middle of the street. I mean, I wasn't in the middle of the street and I wasn't quite yelling, but you know what I mean. Okay, so there's this new supermarket that opened in 7th of July, somewhere kind of close to where I live. I mean, I think it's like less than 10 minutes walk from where I live. And it's just so well approvenized. I don't know what's the word. uh, Products. I don't know. I don't know what the word is. Anyway, the point is that it has a lot of products that I really love that I can't find in another shop, and it's also very well organized. So it's so cool. Okay. So I haven't been doing like proper shopping in a while, and today I was like, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna go and I'm gonna spend a lot of money because, like for the weekend, I ate not good, not well. You know that moment when you have some bits in your fridge, but not fully to make a meal, and you just basically improvise, but it's not very delicious, but it's also not food. So it was like that. So I was like, you know what, I need to rethink my situation and I need to go and do some proper shopping. Okay, which I did. I've done that. I went to the supermarket and I've done just that. And usually I'm trying to not go to the cashier, like I want to go to the self checkout because I don't have to talk with anyone. Also, because I get to see the price that I'm scanning, so I understand how much something costs, and because it's easy. I don't have to interact with no person. It's just me and the machine, and so on. And because it's basic Icelandic, like I don't even need to switch it to English. I got this. It's not that complicated. Except for the first time, there were some black grapes from California, and that's what I wanted. So I tried to scan them and went to check. They only had green and red grapes that were from South Africa, if I remember correctly. So there was no price. I also took a picture in the supermarket because I want to prove how often it happens that they sell shit that have no prices, which is insane. I think in EU it's not allowed to have products with no prices. But let's not get into that. The point is that I even took a picture as in it's not written there what the price is. Anyway, the point is that I'm asking for help from the person who's just supervising the self-checkout area. And she's just selecting freaking selecting the red grapes. And I'm like, but that's not it. This is black. That's red. This is not the same. And also, I know because I've been buying those red ones and I know they're from South Africa. I don't think that is the same price. Those are coming from South Africa or whatever the fuck they're coming. The other ones are coming from freaking California. So it cannot be the same price. I might be making a mistake. What I'm buying might be more expensive. But it doesn't matter. I just wanted to see the price for it. So she's deleting it. And then I'm telling her, so what do you want me to do? So then she's showing to me the guy. She's showing to me a guy. And she's like, manager. She wasn't speaking English. She was just speaking Icelandic. And again, I don't speak Icelandic. But that was my main point why I wanted to go to the machine so then I don't deal with people. Anyway. She's sending me to the manager. So I go to the manager and I'm like, hi, I was told to talk with you. I want to buy this, but it only shows me the green and the red and these ones are black. So I want to see where is the... Like I want to buy this. And he's like, there's a code And I'm like, what is it? And then she's showing me on the bottom of the plastic bag that the grapes were in. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool, thank you. I didn't see it. So I scanned that code, and only the VAT comes on. And in that moment, I have to be honest, in that moment, I was like, should I just leave it at this? And basically, I'm stealing these grapes because I'm just paying for the VAT. Like, I'm not paying for them, I'm just paying for the VAT. Should I just leave it? And I'm like, no, I can't. So the lady comes back and is showing to me that I have to choose something. So I'm scanning the thing, and then she's also again choosing the red grapes. And I'm like, but that's not it. I'm like, that's not it. So she's deselecting this again, and then she goes away. So I put the grapes aside, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna give up on buying the fucking grapes. I'm just gonna give up. So then I'm trying to continue, but it doesn't let me. So it's blocked again. So she comes again, and I'm telling her, I don't want the grapes anymore. Can I just continue? So then the machine is asking something. I don't know what because I don't speak Icelandic. So the machine is asking something, and she had to choose yes or no. And so she chose yes. And then everything is lost, all my scanning and all that. So then she's telling me like, no, no, no. She kept telling me like, no. And she was making an X, like no in Icelandic. She kept telling me no in Icelandic, and she kept making an X. I can't use the machine anymore. So I'm like, wait, do you want me now? So what? I can't use this? So what? Do you need me to, like, I was talking to her. I'm like, so what? Do I need now to go back to the cashier, like to the cashier where was a queue? I'm like, wait, I don't understand. What do you mean? I have to go. So then I look around me. She just went away. Like she just she wasn't there anymore. So in all the anger that I had piling up in me, I'm like, okay, then fuck it. I'm just gonna leave everything here. I don't need to buy anything anymore. So I just have left everything there, and I just left the thing. And so as I left the shop, I started doing like, ugh, fuck this shit. Ugh. So then I go away, and as I go away, I have to cross a street. It was green, and a car, I was on green. I don't care if the car was still on green. You have to stop when I'm crossing. It slowed down. There was another person coming from my opposite way. It slowed down, and then immediately it came through, like in front of the other woman and me who we were crossing. So I'm yelling at that lady who just almost killed two people in one go. And then honestly, do you want me to tell you what I've done? I came home and I watched an episode of Gilmore Girls to calm down. That's not even a bit. Like, that's not even a bit. That's literally what I've done. And then I made dinner or like lunch, whatever, with whatever food I already had in the house. And I survived yet another day. The good thing is that the chocolate bit happened after this. So now I'm in a bit of a better mood because I got a lot of free chocolate. So basically, this is how it has been going for me. It's not easy to be me. Oh, and also, I'm not going to give you very many details because I don't feel comfortable talking about this. But long story short, 2 weeks ago, no, more than 2 weeks ago, almost 3 weeks ago, I went to a doctor because there's something wrong with me. Or maybe it's not, but I need a doctor to tell me that. I don't want for myself to decide that if something is wrong or not. So I went to the doctor, and the doctor said that a specialist needs to see me, so I will need to get a call from the hospital. And I'm like, okay, sure. 2 weeks pass. So this Friday, I get 2 calls from them that I missed. I didn't see them. So now I'm going to keep on waiting to be called by the hospital that I don't think it will ever call me again. So I don't even know how that's going to go. But that is also very extremely frustrating. So yeah, this is how life has been working for me. Oh, and also, can I tell you something else? I got a new tattoo. And you know what happened? My tattoo got a scab, and I kind of fucked with it. So now my precious, superb tattoo has a bit of a spot, like empty spot, because it got a scab and I took it off or whatever the fuck I did. So I will need to fix the tattoo, the very expensive tattoo, actually. And I need to fix it. So there's that as well. How has your month have been so far? Please tell me that better than yours. Better than mine. Please tell me that is better than mine. But also, don't tell me that you've been living your best life because then I might be hating you. Like, tell me that you've been encountering some shit as well. Can we just, let's make August the month in which we just complain about all of the shit. So we take it all over the system and we get ready for autumn and just see lovely leaves and dreamy rain and whatever the fuck comes with oh, can I tell you something else? A volcano erupted in Iceland. And because I was with the problems with the car, I couldn't go and it already stopped. So I didn't manage to go in time to see it live. And that's gonna stay with me for centuries to come. Am I living centuries? Maybe. You don't fucking know. I'm from Transylvania. You don't fucking know, do you? You don't. You don't know. You just don't know, do you? Anyway, this is my life. How is yours? This concludes today's episode. Thank you for listening. And if you want to get in touch with me, you can do so by emailing to alinaswonders@gmail.com. Until next time, follow your dreams and stay true to yourself.